Good morning. I'd like to thank Elise and the at Emerging Enterprise Center and the County Chamber for the opportunity to present to you today. As Elise said, my name is Wendy Rafferty, and I work in the Business Accounting Department at Rossiter, a CPA firm in Wilmington. I work with businesses every day with managing the routine accounting and payroll. Long before the craziness of 2020, I've been assisting businesses with integrating web-based applications into business accounting and payroll applications as a way to better manage their processes. This webinar will give you an overview of the digital solutions that you can use too. So think of all the ways the internet helps you manage your daily life, right? Online banking and paying bills directly on a company website. Calendars on our phone to keep track of our schedules and send us reminders, using portals to access medical records and track our retirement accounts. So just like in your personal life, there's a vast array of web-based options to help you manage your business. There are digital solutions your business can use to manage your business accounting, process payroll, track expenses, mileage, time, and project due dates, receive money from customers, and pay bills, and do all of this securely. So what's wrong with using my trusted spreadsheet for my bookkeeping? So I get this question a lot. There are arguments for using spreadsheets, which mostly fall in the I've always done it this way, so I change now category. The truth is, it may seem like spreadsheets are convenient, but they're seldom a good option. Some points against using spreadsheets. So spreadsheets lack double entry accounting tracking. So to keep proper financial records, each transaction has two sides. For example, if you pay your rent, you have to record the rent expense and also reduce your cash. Accounting software handles both of these, both sides of every transaction automatically. Formulas in a spreadsheet to make an accounting spreadsheet work are complex and prone to error, and finding the errors is time consuming. Accounting software handles all the calculations for you and does it properly. As you add new account categories to your spreadsheet, you have to update formulas to include those new categories, which is time consuming and again, just prone to error. Spreadsheets are susceptible to fraud, so changes can be easily made, and it's difficult to track who made the changes. Accounting software creates an audit trail for every transaction. If you track expenses for several income streams, it can be very difficult to track your earnings. And it's difficult to run date-specific reports with a spreadsheet. And finally, when your business begins to grow, it's very difficult to scale up your spreadsheet, and you need to enter historical data into accounting software. So I've done this many times, and it's time consuming and costly. So there are probably a dozen good options for web-based accounting software. You know, we've all heard of the big ones, QuickBooks, Sage. Each option will handle the accounting basics, managing your cash, paying bills, invoicing customers. They'll even link to your bank and credit card accounts and upload bank transactions automatically into the software, although you do still need to match and categorize the transactions. So most will give you dozens of reports, including balance sheet, profit and loss, general ledger, payroll reports if you have a payroll module. Those reports can be run for any date-specific time frame. You can also run year-over-year comparison reports, which can be very helpful. Most have options to enter budgets and run reports comparing budgets to actual. And some have excellent inventory tracking and payroll modules. So the most important thing is to determine what features are most important to you, and then do your research and find the program that works best for your business and provides the flexibility that you require. And I do want to put a little disclaimer out there that Rossiter does not endorse any product or solution that we're going to be discussing here. And another thing I want to emphasize with regards to the web-based accounting program is that even though these programs upload your bank information into their systems, it's really important for you to add those transactions properly into the program. Those bank feeds bring the transactions into sort of a holding area in the software, and the transactions are not recorded until they're added by you or someone in your business. So for an example, I've worked with 3 clients in the past several weeks who never added the transactions that were uploaded for their bank account. And so when we tried to run their profit and loss statement, it was basically blank. There were just zeros everywhere. And then we had to enter all of that information, add all that information, and it cost the customer money. You could spend probably, if you did it weekly, maybe 20 minutes or so, depending on the volume of the work that you have uploaded in. And so it's really not a huge amount of time spent adding that information into your accounting software. So paying employees can be a complex task for small businesses. And it's also one of the primary ways a business can run afoul with federal and state tax agencies. The IRS and state revenue agencies can and will come down hard on a business that does not properly withhold, submit, and report payroll taxes. The main reason is that a good portion of the tax withholding is the employee's money that the employer submits on the employee's behalf. So when you add in health benefits, 401k deductions, employer match, and garnishments, all of which can have different tax implications, you can see how this could really become a daunting task. Now, fortunately, there are some excellent web-based payroll applications that are cost-effective for smaller companies. These applications can pay employees by check or direct deposit, properly calculate tax withholdings and other deductions, like we discussed, 401k, health insurance, etc. They can track paid time off. They can submit your payroll taxes to the taxing agencies and prepare and send the payroll tax reports to those tax agencies. They also provide you with detailed payroll reports. Some web-based payroll platforms integrate with online accounting software, and some give you a report that you can use that will use to enter a journal entry to record your payroll into your software. Again, be sure to do your research to find the payroll software that works best for you. Travel and expense tracking. Expense tracking is one of the most often overlooked aspects of running a business. If extensive travel is required of you or your employees, it's best to find an expense tracking program that will integrate into your accounting software. These programs often have options that allow you to take a photo of your receipt from your phone and have it upload into the program. You can also scan the receipts and upload them into the program. The employees then code those receipts to the expense and the proper accounts. And you can even tag specific projects the expenses are related to. And then managers can review and approve the reports online, and then accounting can process the reimbursement payments to the employee. There are also phone apps if you just need to track mileage. So many of the mileage apps can upload data into accounting software or into a spreadsheet. And I'll tell you that Delaware in particular, is a lot of times if you have vehicle expenses on your business tax return, they will send a letter after you submit your tax return and ask for your mileage log, because they want to verify that you are keeping track of this. So it is really an important thing to do. And these apps can help you do that much more easily. So time and project tracking management programs are great tools for team leaders and managers to keep track of pretty much everything. So there's a whole range of software options to make project management easier and more efficient. Each program offers a range of features that can help simplify the daily life of a project manager. So we have listed here just a few. These are kind of just general project and time tracking programs, but there are really dozens to choose from, and many are industry specific. So for instance, if you're a construction company, they have industry specific programs that will assist you. So billing and receivable software. So most of the web-based accounting programs have features that allow you to create and email invoices to your customers and also receive payments through the system by ACH, credit card, or PayPal. Or they can send you a check. Online bill pay is a little different. So online bill pay programs are a great option for small businesses because they eliminate the need to print checks and postage. These programs are linked to your bank account. So basically you scan and upload or email PDF files to your business's dedicated account. You then, someone in your firm can then enter the bills and code to the proper expense accounts. You can have a different person approve all of those bills, and then bills can be paid by a check or by ACH. An authorized person selects the bills to be paid and then just basically clicks send. The total amount of the combined bills in each batch is deducted from your bank account, and the bill pay company either sends an ACH payment or a check to your vendor. And whether it's an ACH or a check, the vendor is sent the information noting that the payment is from your business and indicates what invoices are being paid. You save the cost of check stock, postage, envelopes, and administrative time. Like it takes a lot of time to print those checks and stuff envelopes. You can also get data storage that allows you to keep a PDF of the bills that you've paid, so you don't have to keep paper copies of everything. In most programs, you can view and download a copy of the canceled check or a confirmed ACH payment in the event that a payment is in dispute. And also these programs integrate seamlessly into your accounting software, so you don't have to go and re-enter everything into the accounting software. Document management software can help you organize your digital documents and digitize your existing paper records with ease and eliminate the storage space needed for paper copies. And it's really important for small businesses. They also serve as a secure backup to protect your files from disk drive and server failures. When choosing a document management software for your company, you want to consider factors such as hosting options, search capabilities, and scanning choices. Password management. Secure file sharing services. Data breaches are a real threat in the digital world. However, businesses need to send and share files that may contain sensitive information with their customers and their partners. There is always a security threat sending documents electronically if not done through secure channels. Using a secure file sharing service is the best practice a business can undertake to ensure those files are sent safely. Now here we are, password management. Everyone needs a password manager. Nearly every website you visit insists you create a user account and a password, from dating apps to hyper-secure banking sites. The human memory just can't keep up with the dozens and dozens of those passwords and logins. Some folks get the bright idea to use the simplest passwords, things that are easy to remember, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or password. Others memorize one superbly random password and use it for everything. So either path is likely to make you the latest victim of identity theft. Don't be like them. Use a password manager. With a password manager, you don't have to remember that strong, unique password for every website. The password manager stores them for you and even helps you generate new random ones. Video conferencing. So 2020 has introduced all of us to video conferencing, right? We're using it right now. We have used it to connect with our loved ones and to maintain our business relationships. While we're all ready to put the need for video conferencing behind us, it's likely to remain an important tool in our digital toolboxes, particularly for companies that do business across state lines. Video conferencing can reduce travel expense and time, but it's a far more personal way to connect with a customer than through a phone call. So Jonathan Arena of White Clay Technology was kind enough to share with us the 10 essential steps that every small business can take to achieve cybersecurity. Now, cybercrime is the #1 global criminal moneymaker. And the following are low cost or no cost best practices that any small business can implement to significantly reduce the risk of becoming a casualty of cyber attack. Right? Get control over your passwords. We kind of discussed this already. Use long, strong, and unique passwords. Use a password manager. Use multi-factor authentication whenever possible. Keep your computers updated. Back up your critical data regularly. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to a new client's office and asked what method they use to back up their information, and I get a blank stare, and they just kind of say, yeah, we don't really do that. There are all kinds of cloud-based backup services that will automatically back up your files. And then you also want to perform test restores to make sure that everything's working properly. Use anti-malware software. Security awareness training. This is something that Cover and Rossiter does regularly. Your users are your weakest link, and you want to continually test your employees and train them and test them. Embrace encryption everywhere. Using a VPN, especially on public networks, is really a good tool. Separate your personal and business tech. Have an incident response plan. This is really important. Having a straightforward plan will help you guide and focus you during an emergency or a disaster. You know, if you had a fire or some other kind of emergency in your building, you could lose everything. Get cyber insurance coverage. Your errors and omissions insurance does not cover a data breach or a cyber attack. And finally, just make sure your vendors do all of these things too. So what's in it for you? The benefits of digital solutions. You're going to increase your productivity. You're going to enhance reporting capabilities. You have a 24/7 access across all digital platforms. Your information is stored securely in the cloud. You have easier tracking of all of your financial data. You can get paid faster. So we want you to work smarter, not harder. I do want to just say, just remember to turn off your devices at the end of the day and give yourself some time to unwind. So some final notes, and this is just kind of general information for people. It's the end of the year. We are a tax accounting firm. So 1099s, like all businesses are required to send a 1099 tax form to any vendor or business that is not a corporation. So we're talking LLCs, partnerships, sole proprietors. When you're setting up a new vendor, you need to be sure to get a W-9 form from them and keep it on file. So yes, it's a tedious task, but it's really important to do so proactively before the vendors are paid, as you're much more likely to get the information back from them and not have to chase them at the year end. The penalties for non-compliance of 1099, submitting 1099s are pretty severe, and I wouldn't want you to run your business to run afoul of them. Accounting software programs can track which vendors require a 1099, and some will let you print them using pre-printed form sets that you can purchase at office supply stores. Business taxes can be pretty complex, even for smaller companies. Tax rules change every year, and it can be difficult to follow all the changes. I would suggest that you check out the Newcastle County Chamber member CPA firm websites. If their website is fairly robust, you'll likely find helpful blogs and articles on business and personal tax rules. I know that on Cover and Rossiter's website, you can find a whole range of articles and blogs that are really informative. I would also suggest that you reach out to an accountant who can help you maneuver through the tax preparation process. I know a lot of times it seems like it can cost a lot of money to have an accountant prepare your taxes, but it can be well worth it in the long run. You may even just try to schedule a consultation so that you can get some helpful information. And finally, if you already have an accountant prepare your business tax return, get your information to them as early as possible. So like larger firms with more complex tax returns typically have to wait until late in the tax season to get their information to accountants. So you're much more likely to get more personal service if you get started early, and your accountant will appreciate it. So that's all I have for today. Does anybody have any questions?
You're welcome to unmute yourself or ask a question in the Q&A or chat feature. Raise your hand. We're happy to make sure all of your questions about any of these specific things talked about, or if you have any other questions for Wendy, please feel free to unmute yourself or type your question into the chat feature. John, go ahead.
Thank you. Thanks for the presentation, Wendy. In instances where we have clients, as you had said, that are going to, let's say, an H&R Block or a lower cost provider, what would you advocate for in terms of best practice to encourage them to get in front of a CPA firm?
So like going to a CPA firm instead of to H&R Block is kind of
Correct.
your question? Okay.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
So best practices. I mean, of course, I work at a CPA firm. I'm going to recommend that you go to a CPA firm.
Sure.
H&R Block can be, a good tool for if you're kind of small, but the CPA firms are really going to be up to date on all of the tax laws, all of the new rules. You're going to get more robust service, and you're going to get advice as well. I think that's probably the most important feature. So there may not be much that you can do after the year is done and the tax return is prepared and you owe a bunch of money, but a CPA can tell you, like, this is what you need to do for next year. This is the kind of planning that you should prepare for. You're not going to get that kind of advice through like H&R Block or Jackson Hewitt. So a CPA is also going to check in with you throughout the year to see that you're on track. They're going to want to, request that they look at your books to see how things are going, and they can really monitor things throughout the year so that you don't have any surprises at the end of the year.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure, absolutely.
Does anyone else have any questions? Feel free to raise your hand or unmute yourself. Oh, wait, we do have a question. How do retirement plan providers figure into your business financial service provider? So how do retirement plan providers figure into your business financial service providers?
So we work really closely with financial planners, the ones that we have good relationships with many of them. So I guess I would look at like our high wealth maybe clients. I know not everybody is a high wealth client, but we would work directly with their financial planners to gather information, to see what's going on. So we do work directly with them. We can always recommend that your financial planner, that you give them permission for your accountant to speak with them, so that if they have any questions, they don't, sometimes it's hard for an individual to know what they need to ask their financial planner. But if you give your accountant permission to speak with them, then we can kind of cut to the chase and get the information that we need. It's a little bit quicker. Does that answer the question? Maybe?
I believe so.
Okay.
Does anyone else have any questions? Please feel free to unmute yourself or raise your hand or use the chat feature.
Okay.
Well, with that, I just want to remind everyone that we have recorded this session, and Wendy has been great. We're going to be actually putting together a little resource guide so you guys can have all this information afterwards to review and help you either in sharing with your clients or for your own personal business. I don't want to jump ahead. Give a few people a few more seconds if you have any questions.
Okay, well, just please note that on this last page here, I will give Elise PDFs of all of these slides so that you can have them if you just wanted to download the slides. So our email address and our firm's information is on there. So if you have some questions or would like to reach out and speak to somebody for a consultation, please feel free to give us a call.
Hey, Wendy, this is Bob Bigner again. I have one last question.
Sure.
You have a lot of good online resources here and everything. How do we, as individuals, as business owners, monitor these for the safety and security of putting our information out online? What's the best kind of, how do we benchmark these things to make sure that they're doing their due diligence to be secure?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And the best answer that I have for you is do your research. So, go online, you find, you can, search for the different companies. There's always reviews of you can always find reviews. You can see how well they're rated by the users. Go directly to their websites and find out what what their practices are. Most of the web-based companies are going to really spell that out on their website, what they do. You can reach out to an IT person and get some recommendations. You can reach out to an accountant or another kind of professional to see if they have any recommendations. We wanted to make sure that that everybody knows that we're not endorsing anything particular here on these slides. The information that I found is basically, I went to trusted sources like PC Magazine and some other trusted sources on their websites and pulled some information that they had already researched. Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know that it has a super good answer.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, Wendy, and thank you guys all for attending today's webinar. As a reminder, I will be sharing the recording. I'm going to stop the recording actually at the moment.